What else are you going to be doing on a Saturday? Spurs away. Yes. Welcome back to the Premier League. Premier League football is back. Thank the Lord. And West Ham travel to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Antonio, Lanzini, Obiang, Ogbonna, the list goes on. And can we continue that? Join us, obviously, later on, as we will be going through the West Ham match day live with ourselves, me, DJ Russie, you name it. We are all going to be here giving you the running commentary for the massive game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Tottenham's cup final. It is their cup final. So no matter what they say, let them try and enjoy it, and let's hope we can ruin their day at home. But I'm here to talk to you about the predicted 11, starting 11 for West Ham. I've got what I am predicting, and then at the end, I'll tell you what I think I would like as part of this team. So let's get straight into it. And you've already seen I've made a little bit of an error already by putting and showing you that I was going to have Areola in goal. I didn't want to tell you that because I thought that was going to be the biggest secret. Haha, wink, wink. But it's obviously not. So he will be in goal for West Ham. And I think you can probably predict West Ham's back 4-5 because in recent weeks, I think they've actually been performing really well. Everyone's reported back and are feeling fighting fit and rearing and ready to rock and roll. So going in at centre-back, number one centre-back, of course, Kilman coming in. Fantastic. I don't need to beat about the bush. We know he will be in there. And alongside him has got to be Jean-Claire Todibo. I thought he's been nothing but phenomenal since he's been in the side. And definitely a welcome addition at the right time to come in to this team. So I think he really adds balance in our defence and really shores up that defence, adds that level of quality and assures the fullbacks, on either side that they've got competent centre halves to be able to do the job. So that should really give West Ham a lot of confidence. Now, we know Spurs are relentless in their attack, and we're going to have to be the best we can be in our defensive mindset on the day. Spurs are going to come at West Ham, but then again, by doing that, leave themselves with big gaps. And the thing about Postecoglou is he doesn't really pivot from his mindset. And what he does, he goes at teams, and people like that. People like that. But again, the weaknesses are in their back line. But as long as we can try and weather the storm of what they're going to produce to us, then I feel like our defense are capable of doing it. I think Emerson is capable of doing it again if he's backed up by the player in front of him, who we'll talk about in a second. And over the far side, Wan-Bissaka, who again has been a fantastic signing, and actually think this could be a real strong game for him because we all know about his defensive ability. He can get back, and that's going to really pay his dividends. But something I didn't realize he had in his arsenal is the fact that he can get forward. I think he was actually slagged off quite a bit when he was at Man United for his inability to get forward. But in actual fact, he can, and he's very good at doing it. And he's already shown West Ham fans that he is capable of doing it. Now, the interesting part is all about the midfield, what West Ham will do. West Ham fans calling for no double pivot. But when we've got a team as relentless as Spurs coming at us, I think we'd be a little bit naive to think that they wouldn't, and West Ham wouldn't line up as a double pivot. Therefore, I think Alvarez comes in at the central of midfield, and alongside him, people might not like this. I don't think they dislike the player. I just think they dislike the double pivot is Guilherme Rodriguez, the Argentinian midfielder, who I think is kind of coming into his own a little bit in the West Ham team, but it's double pivot back there. I feel like they're not too holding central midfielders, and my concern about that for this game is that they need to be able to hold on to the ball, and that's why when I announce the team that I would like for this after, you'll see where I think we can do it. I don't think we leave ourselves too open. I think when we play this double pivot, I still think we kind of sometimes get overrun in the midfield. However, having Alvarez back is really key for West Ham, and a very good decision to have there. Now, over on the left, no ifs or buts about it. Jared Bowen, much better having him there in his defined position. And like I said to you, the next players that we're talking about are going to be so key to West Ham going on the counter and really setting the frightening frighten the lights out of the Spurs defence, whom we all know are very capable of shipping goals, considering that they are relentless in their attacking prowess. Over on the far side, Kudus, coming off the back of not a fantastic international week for him as a captain of Ghana, but he is back at West Ham and he's got a point to prove. We've all got a point to prove, and I think Kudus has got the ability to be able to do that. He's starting to kind of grow a little bit of confidence after the Ipswich game, and what a good way to try and bounce back. We're trying to get a good result over Spurs and be one of the main geezers in doing that, and we all know he's very capable of doing it. And I just think he just needs that little bit of more of a freedom to be able to do it, and I think he'll get the space to do it today, and that's the one I want you to watch for the game against Spurs. It gets really interesting now because we've only got a couple more players to choose, but I think he doesn't play Souček for this game. I don't think he'll start Souček. I think there's always the trusted player there, and it's interesting because you may see one or two changes from the team that I'm putting out here, but I think he may go for Paqueta. I think Paqueta needs to be in there because of the real creativity he's got going forward. And again, I'll tell you why in a minute when I show you the team I wish he would put out and how I think that would make a difference. But Paqueta at least gives us creativity. And I think when we're going to have space in defence, that's going to be key to West Ham's game moving forward. And of course, with the news that Füllkrug will not be available, then Antonio again leads the line. I don't think you'll be seeing a false nine. I don't think you'll see Kudus through the middle. I don't think you'll see Bowen through the middle. But what I suppose that does allow you to see with the three players of Paqueta, Bowen, and Kudus is the ability to fluctuate throughout that team and swap positions and switch sides, which I think they will do in an abundance. Now, what's really interesting, and put your comments in, let me know your thoughts on that predicted 11, but this is the next 11 that I think I would really like to see, and I'll tell you why. And people may think that leaves West Ham really open, but the same back five, I think Alvarez needs to sit and just be the main guy in the back line, central defensive midfielder. Now, people might think that if we play Soler and Paqueta in a further forward advanced position, that really holds it down. But the difference is they hold on to the ball carrying midfielders, and Soler and Paqueta get stuck in. So I think that's where the balance and what we need to find is to find that balance between the gaps that we're leaving between midfield and strikers. And I think Soler and Paqueta and our forwards, they bring that gap closer and allow West Ham to first and foremost hold on to the ball, carry the ball, and be creative with that ball. And in theory, allowing Alvarez to do all the dirty work in behind them. So they're coming back, dropping in where necessary. Paqueta, again, dropping back and doing what he needs to do where necessary. And alternatively, you could drop Soler back into the double pivot with Alvarez, leaving Paqueta the freedom to push forward and Soler if need be and drop back where need be, and leaving the front four to do what they do. Either way, I think we're going to see I don't think we're going to see many changes. I think the double pivot is going to be the thing that I think we've been accustomed to this season, especially Spurs away. But I think that Tottenham are there to be got. I think every team, as we know, are there to be got. And it kind of sometimes feels like whenever West Ham turn up, whatever mindset West Ham turn up with is how the day is going to go. And I think we'll know that once the team news is announced. Anyway, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on what I've said. If you've enjoyed all the stuff we're doing, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. And of course, let's get stuck into Spurs. Come on, your hands.